So you may be wondering which professionals really are needed for estate planning and how do we interact with each other? How does that even work behind the scenes? In this video, I'm going to talk about the professional trifecta, the 3 different professionals you really need for every estate plan to work appropriately. So as the name implies, a trifecta, there's 3 people, and the first one is me. It's the estate planning attorney. So what does an estate planning attorney really do? Well, we meet with you, with our client, and we help to craft and draft and execute the estate plan. We talk with you about who you love, where you want your stuff to go, and we're looking at what happens upon your incapacity and upon your death. Who's going to manage things when you're gone? How are your kids or your loved ones or charities going to receive inheritance? We go through the different options for you to see what might make the most sense. Then we would typically prepare the grant deeds to transfer your properties into the trust, and we'd also give you instructions on how to fund the trust. Okay, so this is all something that the estate planning attorney does. Now, we're also knowledgeable about several different types of taxes, okay? We typically know about estate taxes, about capital gains taxes, gift taxes, California property taxes, and GST, generation skipping transfer taxes. And so we'll advise you on all of those taxes. The other thing we do as estate planners is we actually help to administer the trust when you're gone. Now, not all estate planners do, but I think the good ones do. Of course, I do this, but we really need to understand what's going to happen when you're gone in order to draft the trust appropriately. The trust is really an instruction manual to the successor trustee to make sure that your stuff goes the way you want it to go. So the estate planning attorney would then represent the successor trustee, whoever is going to manage the trust when you're gone, and make sure that the stuff in your trust goes to the next generation in the way that you say. I actually have a video on the trust administration process, and it's called What Happens to My Trust When I Die? So take a look at that video because you can see, we create the trust and then we administer the trust. We make sure that everything's carried out according to the terms of the trust. An estate planner does all of that. So what about a financial advisor? Where do they come into play? Well, financial advisors are key, or financial planners, because they help you figure out how much do you need for your lifetime? How do you manage your underlying assets? What should you do with rental properties, or should you sell that property, or when should you retire? What is enough to fund your child's special needs trust? Okay. Sometimes clients ask me, hey, do you think I should invest in, this stock or this mutual fund? I have no opinion at all. That's all up to the financial advisor and you. You guys would talk about this and discuss it. I think financial advisors are key because they often take very good care of their clients, like we also do. But financial advisors are usually in contact with their clients frequently and make sure that you're doing the right thing. A lot of times they'll be bugging you. Hey, get your estate plan done, right? So, and they get to know you and your family. It's a wonderful relationship that they can build. Financial advisors can also help you fund your trust. So if you have assets under management with your financial advisor, brokerage accounts, investment accounts, they can help walk you through the process of retitling those accounts into the trust. So a lot of times we'll let a financial advisor know, if our client gives us permission, we'll let them know, hey, here's the new name of the trust and here's how you should retitle it. And it's wonderful when we can work with a financial advisor in that way to make sure that the trust is fully funded and you're taken care of. Okay, now when you die, what does a financial advisor do? Well, a lot of times they already know a lot about your family and they can help your family. They can help the next generation with management of their financial assets. Okay, so they can continue the legacy that you created with the approach perhaps that you have of how you want assets under management. So they help multiple generations, just like an estate planning attorney can. So the third member of the trifecta is your accountant. This could be a CPA or somebody who's just specializes in income taxes, all right? The accountant knows everything about income taxes. You notice when I was talking about the estate planning attorney, the one tax I didn't say is income taxes, because that's what we leave to the accountant.
Hey everyone! If you like my mom's video, like and subscribe.
So your accountant will typically help you prepare your yearly income tax returns, your 1040 returns. Upon your death, your accountant can also help prepare the tax returns for the trust, all right? That is not a 1040 return. It's actually called a 1041, a fiduciary income tax return. Now, not all accountants prepare fiduciary income tax returns, so you'll want to make sure to work with an accountant who does, or the next generation will work with them when you're gone. Also, if you have an upcoming income tax or capital gains tax issue, like maybe you're going to sell a property that's appreciated in value significantly, you can work with your accountant and your financial advisor to figure out, how do I negate the effects of that capital gains tax hit, or how do I lessen the impact? By the way, I did a video on capital gains taxes, and I encourage you to watch that when you're done with this video. Also, if you make a large gift during your lifetime to somebody else, your accountant can help you fill out a Form 709, which is a gift tax return. Now, upon your death, if you have a taxable estate, for estate tax purposes, if your estate is larger than the estate tax exemption of your death, they can help prepare a Form 706. Some estate planning attorneys do the Form 706, but most don't. Most accountants will prepare a estate tax return. Now, you may also need an estate tax return if you don't have a taxable estate, but it's that if you're a married couple and the first of you dies, the survivor can actually file a 706 form to elect portability, to say, hey, I want the deceased spouse's unused estate tax exemption to come on over to my estate. The accountant helps with that as well. Now, here's something that involves all three of us. Let's say the first spouse dies and you have a trust that splits into 2 or 3 subtrusts, okay? We might have the bypass trust and the survivor's trust. How do we know which assets to allocate to which trusts? Well, typically, as the trifecta, all three of us, the financial advisor, the estate planning attorney, and the accountant, will work together to figure out, from a tax perspective, from a financial planning perspective, from all the different perspectives, which assets should go into which subtrusts, all right? So we're helping you plan for all the different contingencies, and we love working together. One video that I suggest that you watch on this is called, Should I Simplify My Trust? This is talking about if you have an A-B split, and you may choose to keep that A-B split, or you may choose to simplify it. But we do talk about allocation in that video, so that might be interesting to you. Okay, so let me just tell you, these are not the only professionals involved. You may have a life insurance professional who you love, who's really helped you set up a term or whole life policy, or 2 or 3, that are really going to help fund your trust or your children's trusts upon your death. That's super valuable. You might also want to talk with a long-term care advisor, somebody who can help you figure out, do you want to get long-term care insurance? Maybe you have a history of dementia in your family. Maybe you're worried that you'll be in a skilled nursing home for a long time, and that stay will deplete your assets. Well, so you can talk with somebody and find out. You know, there's many other professionals out there. There's realtors, there's appraisers, there's professional trustees. We work with all of them. But really, I hope that this video has shown you, how do we work together with the great trifecta, the 3 professionals that you'll need. So I suggest that you introduce us to each other. If some of these professionals, if you have an estate planning attorney and a financial advisor and or an accountant, I suggest you introduce us to each other. We love meeting each other, seeing how can we combine forces for your good. How do we make sure that all of your needs are being met so that you and your family can be the most successful in your life and financially? Thanks so much.
Hello everyone. If you liked my mom's video, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you all next time.